I grew up in a normal, quiet suburban neighborhood. Nothing bad ever happened there, at least not that we knew about. But there's one thing that happened when I was 16 that I still can't explain. And honestly, I wish I never had to. My parents had left for a weekend trip, leaving me home alone. I thought it would be relaxing. It wasn't. It started on Friday night around 11 p.m. My phone vibrated on my desk, and I saw the screen light up with no caller ID. I figured it was some random scam call, but when I answered, nobody spoke, no sound, just a faint, steady breathing. I hung up. A minute later, it called again. Same thing, same silent breathing. By the fourth call, I blocked the number. Almost immediately, it rang again anyway, still no caller ID. That's when I started feeling uneasy. The fifth time I answered, I didn't speak at all. I just listened. And in the middle of that breathing, I heard something else. Not through the phone, behind me. A soft thump. I turned around so fast the chair almost fell over. Then another thump. And this time I could tell where it came from. The ceiling, the attic. Now, our attic wasn't the kind with stairs. It was a square panel in the hallway ceiling that we never opened. We didn't store anything up there, so hearing a noise come from inside it felt wrong. The next call came, and I picked up slowly. The breathing sounded louder now, sharpened, like someone was trying to hold their breath between slow exhales. But then something clicked in my head. The sound wasn't fully coming from the speaker. It was coming from the ceiling directly above me. I muted the phone. The breathing didn't change. That's when I realized the breathing wasn't from a caller at all. Someone was in the attic. I backed into the corner of my room and called my neighbor who lived across the street. He was this older guy named Mark. Big, strong, and always ready to help. I told him I was hearing noises in the attic and someone was calling me nonstop. He said he'd be over in 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes felt like hours. I kept staring at the attic door in the hallway. I swear, I saw the panel shift slightly. Just a tiny movement, like someone pressed their hand against it from the inside. The doorbell finally rang, and I practically sprinted to the front door. Mark had brought a small ladder and a flashlight. We walked down the hallway together. He whispered, "Stay behind me." He climbed up and pushed on the attic door. At first it didn't move. Then it suddenly swung upward way too easily. He shined the flashlight inside and froze. The attic wasn't empty. There was a thin blanket laid flat across the beams like a bed. Next to it were empty food cans stacked neatly in a corner, candy wrappers, crushed water bottles, and a prepaid flip phone lying face down on the insulation. He picked it up. It was still on. I felt sick. Someone had been living above us. We called the police. They searched every inch of the attic, but whoever was there had escaped. When my parents came home the next day, the police told them something even more disturbing. The insulation showed long trails like someone had been crawling from one side of the attic to the other for weeks. There were even small holes in the insulation, holes that lined up perfectly with the ceiling vents in my bedroom and the hallway. He had been watching us, listening, learning our schedules. He probably only came down when we weren't home. The officers said the hardest part to explain was that prepaid phone. It had no contacts, no messages, no history, just outgoing calls. Dozens of them, all to my number. We moved house 6 months later. My parents didn't want to risk staying there after what had happened. I thought the whole nightmare was over. But 2 weeks after we moved, my phone buzzed, no caller ID. I answered it, expecting silence again. But this time, there was no breathing, just a single whisper, a man's voice. He said, "I miss the attic," and the line disconnected. I don't know where he is now. I don't know how long he was living above us, but sometimes late at night, I still wake up with the feeling that someone is listening from just a few feet over my head.